afternoon, viewers. Welcome to Science TV Sports City Extra. We have a lot of actions, sports actions with your favorite teams. Remember, I am your host, ELVIS ODHIAMBO, and we have a guest here. I'll give him some time to introduce himself, but let us wait for a minute. I will ask which favorite teams does he support, and then he'll introduce himself. So welcome my guest, and tell us more about yourself.
Okay, hi viewers, I'm FELIX MAKONA, a sports analyst as well as a football lover. Here in Kenya I support Kakamega Homeboys, and in EPL I support Arsenal, obviously the biggest team in England.
Oh. Okay. I know many people and many supports Arsenal because it is very youthful, and Kakamega Homeboys is also youthful. So I was just thinking, and probably let me ask you, I'll have a question for you, but for now we have a lot of actions, and we're gonna analyze and discuss a lot of action that happened in the weekend. You will give us your opinion, and also viewers, please send in your feedback and give us your opinion, and follow us on our social media platform on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and WhatsApp. The WhatsApp number is there, so send in your comments and inform us on your opinion. As we continue discussing, I know it's a lot of fiery and a lot of action, but it will depend on time. So let us start with, and let us focus on the three local actions that happened, and then EPL and Afcon, African Nation. I want to ask you, the viewers, who do you think will take the Afcon home? People are suggesting Morocco, Senegal, Cameroon, and Ivory Coast, so, or South Africa. So please send in and give us your feedback about who will win the Afcon. Let us start the action and discuss with my guest, and so that he can share in his opinion, and so that we can have we can analyze these sports and really have a successful engagement. Do you think Bandari and Kariobangi Sharks, where was the problem on this action? Was the game easy, or let us get an insight from you?
Bandari versus Kariobangi Sharks is a big game. I think they are the powerful teams in FKF Premier League. So I think there I will go with the skills, physique, and let's say skills, physique, and the hardness of the game. Let's say Kariobangi Sharks are good at third pass crosses in the box, so channeling them to the goal is easy. So I will say they share the same power, they shared the same physique, so that brought the game at least to a draw. Think so.
Okay, thank you very much. Previously, 4 years ago, Kariobangi Sharks were very strong. They were leading the game. The Everton, he came and flew, and it was really nice. Kariobangi Sharks was very nice, but now the problem is Kariobangi Sharks is starting to deteriorate. Is it the fund, or what are the challenges that is facing Kariobangi Sharks? Do you think they need to learn a lot of players so that they can improve on their game? What plans do you think Kariobangi should employ to revamp and come back to their winning stripes?
I will say a team starts fighting from inside. They should not involve other external powers at this point. I think a team, if it wants to win and go somewhere, at least they should start fighting from inside. They should have that belief that if we go and use our skills, all our energy, if they give all their energy in the field or on the ground, they will at least come up with something that will make them happy in the game. So that can lead to them winning at least something. But let's say Kariobangi Sharks were good. sometimes they beat Everton on penalties. That was the Sport Pesa Cup. But now they are starting to deteriorate, and they are coming down. So I see fighting should start from the team itself, the coach, the dressing room should be united in the first step. Dressing room unity, and the coach and the team players connection, that will be key for them to success.
Thank you very much. Now let us move to another match. Shabana FC with Ulinzi Stars. But my concern is Shabana FC, previously they were on the tape of NSF, but when they joined KPL Federation, FKF Federation, they started getting stuck, and we see them on the bottom of the table. What do you think Shabana lost? Is it the confidence, or they got the fear? Because KPL is a very strong league. Now you see Ulinzi was beat them 1-0. My opinion, we need to have, they really need to express and really show confidence so that they can be given an opportunity to improve. Now, what do you think is wrong with Shabana, and where is the problem with Shabana as a team?
I will say Shabana has no vivid problem that is seen. So I will say Shabana, in the first place, they thought their coach was a problem. They changed the coach. Now the new coach is Sam Pamzo Omolo. And that coach, as I have known him, is a good performer. He gives results. And when he came in, the first match they won 5-2. And this is the second match with Sam Pamzo Omolo leading the team in action. So I would say it is early to judge Shabana, because they changed everything. The coach is promising. They said the coach himself said he will bring other players to help at least bolster the squad, at least help them have strong people on the bench. And I see he's heading in the right direction. So I see Pamzo Omolo, he will perform. Let's give him time. Even if you plant your seeds today, they will not sprout and grow tomorrow and give result. So from the day they changed the coach, Shabana FC have started to improve their game. They have started to improve in every area, in set pieces, everywhere. So let's give Shabana time. Let's give the coach the time to rebuild the team. He is there just, he has been there just for, let's say, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and that is that is a small time to judge him. Let's give him another chance.
Thank you very much for your insight, and that is very important for Shabana. And I hope it is of value that coach is really caring for Shabana players. If the coach is not there, then the team cannot move. And I believe coach will bring the integration to the players, and also have a system that really empowers the players, and also look for other players so that they can learn more and improve their standards. Because Shabana's defense and the midfielder and the sides are very strong. And I believe they have the confidence, they're not worried. Winning or losing and kicking out the coach, I don't think that is really, but the quality of the players will really matter on how they improve and how they plan to participate in the games that they are coming. So I think the confidence for them will really matter, and the fans and the skills and the field, the training from the Kisii area. I know probably having a game in Nairobi and all that travel whatever fatigue cost them the game, but the energy for traveling made them tired to really meet them in the match. But I think probably in 2027 it will have a very big improvement, and that will be good. Now let's go to KCB and Muhoroni Youth, because KCB has been a very strong team than Muhoroni, but currently we see it was a draw, a nil-nil draw. What do you think KCB should do to really improve and add their winning strike? Because if the defense is really weak, that's why we see there were no goal. It gave a nil-nil draw. Now we see it was number 3 last season, but right now it's number 6. Now what do you think is a problem at the KFC camp? KCB camp.
KCB camp, I will say they have no problem that is that should be talked of so much, because if we come to the side of fans, they have everything. Their squad is set. The facilities are good. They have the transport. Let's say they are a settled team. They are not like other teams that have no sponsors. And if they have sponsors, their sponsors maybe they have no or less resources. So I will say, first, KCB is a big team. So I think the fighting spirit of the players, the fighting spirit of the team should be their driving force. Because if you see KCB and Gor Mahia, let's say those teams are on the same level, but Gor Mahia has more of a fighting spirit than KCB. Of course, they all have fans, they all have sponsors. They are sponsored by big companies, they are sponsored by rich people, but KCB has no fighting spirit. They go there just to play the game, maybe because it is scheduled because I think what they should do is just to have a fighting spirit and believe in themselves, because KCB as players, as everything. So I will say KCB should just go hand in hand, should have just unity in the team, and they could even win every match, not everything.
Thank you very much. And I believe KCB will do well because they have a lot of supporters, and maybe a small conflict can affect the team, but it needs to be covered so that KCB can go back to the winning streak. But I believe from this nil-nil, I hope the next match they play, it will be a win for them. That is not a bad thing. It was a benefit for 1 point. And now probably for the moving forward for those other matches that is remaining, we hope KCB can really revamp and come back to top or almost for number 3 or number 2. Now the two matches against Gor Mahia and Tusker FC, Police and Nzoia Sugar, it led to 2-0. Police were really performing well, and both teams were really good. Now, what do you think Nzoia Sugar can do to improve and really get a lot of opportunities so that they can go back to their winning streak? I think they were almost being relegated, but I feel like right now they are really doing good. Their second leg, we see it is improving. Do you think police they don't have really the motivation to continue with the FKF, or what do you think? Because they are for the both team to improve. What is needed from the both team?
For that matter, I will say Nzoia first is a good team. They have good players. Everything is set, but I will say one challenge that is there in the FKF Premier League is that when it reaches the second leg of the season, in the second leg, every team is fighting not to go for relegation. Every team is doing everything so that they are not relegated to the National Super League. So I will say that Nzoia Sugar should just make sure they keep themselves intact they should keep themselves away from relegation zone by just fighting every match so that they get at least a point or at least a draw if it is bad. Let's say every team, obvious, no team wants to be relegated. No teams wants to play in the lower tier of the Kenyan football. So every team would like to keep itself up there. So it will be hard for Nzoia Sugar to be relegated, but it also will be hard for them to remain if they don't really give everything and they don't really fight for the points. The points will secure their remainers in the top tier of the FKF Premier League.
Okay. Thank you very much. Now, on to other matches that really happened on a weekend is Gor Mahia, is AFC Leopard, and true, that match was really insightful, and many people really got disappointed with AFC Leopard. We thought AFC Leopard was improving, and we can see that for sure. Their standards are being very high. The fans are really good. They have some good officials because they can cooperate and make the team good. So let us hear from our team, because our commentator, because it was 2-0 and now they added their points to 33. Do you think from 28 to 33 that was really good? Their working has been really good. What do you think about AFC moving forward?
I will say that AFC is among the top teams. It's a good team. They are fighters. But I will say I will not underrate Nairobi City Stars, because Nairobi City Stars are also a good team. It's a team that believes in moving forward, believes in doing everything that will help the team go ahead. And I will say that the game was decided by a red card. Nairobi City Stars had a red card around in the first half. So you see, they were reduced to 10 men in the field. But I would say if Nairobi City Stars were all 11 men, then at least the game result will be, let's say, 1-0 or a draw. Because FC Leopards got a chance because they were many in the field and Nairobi Stars were 10. So let's say sometimes the referee does things that decides a game. The referee gave a red card and that gave FC Leopards a chance to shine throughout the game. Because I believe if Nairobi City Stars were all 11 men on the field, then the result could be a bit different. Because I believe also Nairobi City Stars are fighters. They play a good game. They give everything in the match. They do everything for the good of the team. So I will say that was a tough match for Nairobi City Stars. But I hope Nairobi City Stars can rise again despite playing against FC Leopards. You know, sometimes players of a team, they fear just the name of the team. Let's say Shabana is playing against Gor Mahia. They will fear the name because this is a team with the history, this is a team with passion. People start fearing, the players start fearing the opponent because of their name, because of their history. So I think Nairobi City Stars feared Leopards because of their history, because of the name, and also when you had the red card. So I will not give, I will not put down the efforts by the Nairobi City Stars. I will say the match would have been different if red card was not there and Leopards were not a team that has improved that so much.
Thank you very much. I believe that is an honest opinion. The players at the KPL, having a red card made them stuck, because the defense now, it was the people that were remaining in defense really got tired. But I'm sure Nairobi City Star is a strong team, and for the next match, if they practice well with 9 people or 10 people, I know they can really take up the game. If there are 10 people and we have a goalkeeper and all to go back and have 5 defense, I think that really destroyed their game. But I hope the game was really good, the performance was good, they gave really a good performance, and the VAR, the referee with the red cards, I know that really demotivated the team. But if the VAR was around, probably the red card could have been avoided. But let them learn from this and probably train, and let them be equal with other team. Now, moving forward, the biggest match of the weekend was, this is a famous match. Since I was a young guy, Gor Mahia and Tusker FC has been really competing. It has been they both have confidence. Tusker FC, they don't fear. They have a little fear at the middle, at the center. But let me ask you, Tusker FC coach, do you think he has some concerns? Because the last time he was really criticized with the players, and he was really demotivated and demoralized. And right now, when they talked with the official and through the mentorship, we've seen the team now changing and really improving. Do you think Tusker FC can really beat Gor Mahia, or Gor Mahia again? Do you think it will go back to competing ways as it used to be?
I will say first, in the match, Gor Mahia won 1-0 against Tusker. So I don't see a different margin between the two teams. I don't see a big gap between the teams, because scoring 1-0 is almost like nil. So I will say Tusker is a good team, Gor Mahia is a good team, and they are all competing at a top level. So I'd say the performance put in by Gor Mahia is the same performance that is put in by Tusker. So I will say there's no difference between the teams. The difference just came with, let's say it is a mistake. It is just a small mistake to allowing 1 goal. But I think Tusker also in the future can do something at least to stop Gor Mahia, because Gor Mahia is fighting for another title this year, because it has opened at least a 7-gap point between them and the second team in the FKF Premier League. So I will say, if Tusker could just give their all and try to stop Gor Mahia the next time they meet, I think it will be an enormous match. It will be a good match for everyone to watch. So what I will say, I will just give credit to Tusker for just making Gor Mahia look like other teams, because if you leave Gor Mahia with the space, it will beat you many goals, it will embarrass you in front of your fans. But I give credit to Tusker. They did so well in the match.
Thank you very much. Now, for people who missed the highlights the last Saturday, we have two highlights: AFC and Nairobi City Star, and Gor Mahia won against AFC. Now watch the videos.
Is doing good job since
Now I hope you enjoyed watching those highlights. and I know Gor Mahia and Tusker are both a strong team, but I hope for some people who are disappointed with Tusker FC, continue just supporting them, because second leg is coming, so don't worry. Now let us move to Africa Cup of Nations, where it's happening in Ivory Coast, and let us discuss about Algeria, which were meeting their counterpart Burkina Faso. Algeria has been scoring, and they have their really standards. The coach is really good. They have their own ideas and opinions, and it has been a famous team. So last week, Ghana's it was a 1-1 draw, a 2-2 draw, and I wonder, their coach's mind, is it really intertwined with the game? So Algeria and Burkina Faso, it was 2-2. What do you think it will to be done so that it can improve in future and make them really score a lot of goals? Give us your opinion, and also viewers, send in your feedbacks, and let us continue. What do you think about Algeria and Burkina Faso match?
What I will say about Algeria is that I think Algeria glorious days are over, and it should start reforming again, because Burkina Faso is just a team that has no more history in the Afcon, has no that should not bring discussions too much. But when you talk of Algeria, they have players that are playing in the top tier leagues in the world, let's say EPL, Germany, Spain, but their performance back here in Africa have been a bit low. This is because, let's say, the motivation in the team is gone, because they would have been beaten actually, because they try to level in the last minute, because Burkina Faso are firing the balls. Burkina Faso were just pushing for the win, but they were lucky. Algeria were lucky to have scored the equalizer about in the last minute. So I will say Algeria, their chances of winning this Afcon again are minimal. This is because if you look at the likes of Senegal, the likes of Morocco, the likes of Egypt, their game is a bit higher than Algeria. So I would advise that first of all, Algeria glorious days are over. Then they should look for a way to reform again, because this is a competition. It has a lot of competitors who are experienced at different levels. It has a lot of the game requires power, the game requires skill. So I think what they should do first is to reform as a team, is to have unity in the team, then try to compete again. Let's say in the coming Afcon matches or CAF matches, at least they can improve. But now their chances are very, very, very minimal.
Okay. Thank you very much for those insights, and I really agree with you, because it's really tough. Algeria scoring yesterday against Burkina Faso was through luck, and we have other competitors who are very tough in this Africa Cup of Nations. Now you've seen, and I hope you enjoyed, Algeria and Burkina Faso highlights. And I know, did you bet? Will you bet?
I didn't.
So that could have been very stressful. Yes. I hope in future we'll work better and really we give them their flowers. Now on to our next match, Tunisia and Mali. They are both a strong team, and I know Tunisia is better than Mali, because we've seen Tunisia. So viewers, send in your comments and send in your opinion about the matches of Tunisia and Mali. Now, the defense and the positioning was well, and Mali had a very good preparation, but Tunisia really gave in a score, and Mali came back and really gave in a score so that it can go 1-1. Do you think Tunisia can have another opportunity on the second time and make sure they get the 3 points? What do you think about Tunisia and Mali match?
I think in that group E, I will give Mali a straight win. They will top the table actually, because Mali, they have at least a good history in the Afcon. They have good players. The players are experienced. And when you come to Tunisia, let's say Tunisia are at least a bit low as compared to this Mali. So let's say the game was a draw just because it needed to be a draw, so that at least Tunisia can have hopes of at least qualifying to the round of 16. Remember, these are group stages, and in group stages everyone is fighting at least to top the table, or at least be in the second position, so that they can at least qualify to the next level. Because remember, these players and the team is paid at every stage. So let's say if they exit at the group stages, there are funds that will be given to the team, and this will help the team in many areas. So the funds vary from the group stages, and then to the round of 16, to the round of 8, to the quarterfinals, to the semifinals. The funds vary. So those that exit at the group level, they are given a small amount of money. Those that exit at the group, the round of 16, they are given at least a high amount of money, like that up to the semi-final. So I will say Tunisia are just fighting so that they can at least get the funds to build their team. They can at least get their funds to move forward and prepare for the next round of matches. So I will give Mali a chance of topping the table, but also if they really fight so hard, because you see on the way there are blocks like the likes of Tunisia and other teams that are trying at least to stop this Mali from going forward, because it is a competition. Not that they want to spoil their chances of qualifying to the next round, but because the winner is undecided, the winner is unknown. So in the group match, everyone is trying to top the group, everyone is trying to fight from down, so that because in a group of 4, 2 remains, so, and 2 qualify. So everyone is fighting for the 2 chances that are there in every group. So I think Tunisia and Mali, they drew because of that. They wanted, Tunisia wants to qualify, Mali wants to qualify. So it was a hard match in that way.
I agree with you. It was really a hard match and it was very stressful. They have to get really qualified so that they can go to round of 16. And I hope in future they can really improve and move from qualifier and also go to the finals. The African games have been very exciting, and I hope you viewers can really get motivated and really join, because a round of 16 is there. There are teams who will be moved. Other teams are having a lot of patience and a lot of experience. Mali has a lot of experience. They have really trained and tried to really beat and really win the game. The famous game that was really yesterday was Morocco. My concern was maybe the time, and probably the round of 16 is yet to come. Now, Congo and Morocco have really tried. The first, Morocco scored, and then a man who plays at PSG. A man who plays at PSG, the Morocco defender, scored, and they have really tried, and probably it was due to luck because it was 78 minutes. Congo tried and really fought hard and really scored a 1-1, and I really wondered, because now the world of football is really changing, because the stronger team that we saw previously has started going down, just as you can agree with Tunisia and Mali. Now the round of 16 will be there. Do you think Morocco will be there at the round of 16, or they're going to be relegated and go home?
I think in that group there's Tanzania, then there's DR Congo, then there's Morocco. So I think Morocco will top the group because Morocco first they believe in themselves because they have been in the World Cup and they played against Spain and they beat them. They played against the top teams and they tried to draw with them. They tried to beat them, the top teams that the countries that are known. So you see, Morocco believes in themselves. Remember qualifying in the World Cup up to the round of 16, up to the quarters. You see, Morocco is a big team. So it will transform the same energy to their own to their own soil, which is Africa, so that they show them that we have been in the World Cup and we did this and this. So they try to bring the same energy to Africa. So I see Morocco qualifying to the next round. Then let's say DR Congo may qualify, but in that group, the team that I may say they have the little or less chances of qualifying is Tanzania, because you see Tanzania has no good history in the African Cup of Nations. To be clear, they have never won a match in the Afcon. So I would say that since they have not won a match in the Afcon, let's say their chances again of qualifying are so minimal. So I will say Morocco will qualify as a group leaders.
Oh, I agree with you because Morocco is a very strong team, and that is how we are focusing on Morocco and see if Congo will really improve at round of 16, or Congo will be sent home early. So send in your comments, because Morocco has been the king of Africa for now because they have a really good players, and I hope if you missed the highlights and the matches against Tunisia and Mali, a 1-1 draw, and Morocco against Congo, a 1-1 draw. Now I hope you've enjoyed the matches because it was really an exciting game, and I hope it has really changed your game, your mindset on the African football. And I hope if you betted, you benefited last weekend. Now the other match is against Zambia against Tanzania. Zambia has a good experience in Afcon, but Tanzania's, it was their first time to participate in that game in African Cup of Nations, and we really celebrate our neighbors because Tanzania, we thought it will go home early because they are not really qualified and they don't have experience, but them being at Afcon, it's a very good improvement because Tanzania. What do you think about Zambia and Tanzania? Because Zambia has enough experience, has been there. Do you think in the next round of 16, do you think which team will go to the round of 16?
As I've said, Zambia has higher chances of qualifying than Tanzania. But we have to support Tanzania and give credit to them because they scored first in the match. So if you look at the game, I will say Tanzania tried to hold the ball too much so that Zambia cannot be in the control of the game and at least score goals. So I think if Tanzania continue with the same spirit, if Tanzania can at least give in their all, they can at least be the second in the group. But chances of Tanzania qualifying are very low. Because you see, in every competition, despite you having skills, despite you having everything, the fans, you need also experience. So I may say Tanzania is not well experienced when it comes to Afcon and other African cups and competition, let's say the CAF and all those. So. But we must support Tanzania because it is the only team that qualified in East Africa. So if Tanzania can at least go somewhere, us as Kenyans, Tanzanians and the neighborhood, we will be proud of Tanzania because they represent us, because Kenya itself did not qualify. So let's say Tanzania, chances of qualifying obvious are very minimal. If you compare their playing style with Zambia, at least Zambia has good players, as a good game. Zambia controls balls, but what happened yesterday is that Tanzania tried to hold the ball so that Zambia could not get the ball and score goals. But I think the equalizer came in the second half, but Tanzania were winning. They were just, they were at least, they have shown the starting point. They have started to rise in this competition. So let's give them other years so that in the years they gain experience, they at least settle, they put everything in order so that they may at least qualify in the next round. But this round, they may not qualify. They may let me use the word they may not qualify because football is unpredictable, it's unknown, it's the future in football. In Kiswahili we say mpira udunda. So Tanzania, but I think they may not qualify. Let me be clear there.
Okay, I supported East Africa, and I'm really proud of Tanzania because Kenya, Uganda, they didn't qualify for Afcon. And this is a start, a representative and a start for the East Africa to participate in Afcon, and I hope a lot of opportunities will open so that Kenya and Uganda can really join and represent the East Africa. But honestly, I wish they really tasted the round of 16, but right now the tactic and how they passed the ball, it wasn't as of standard of Zambia, but we have to congratulate Tanzania because we honestly are very proud of that because it is the closest to home. Even if they'll go home and not really taste the round of 16, it's still proud for East Africa. Now the other game was Namibia versus South Africa. They are both they have a very good players and they have qualified players. But the question for Namibia, they have been there in the Afcon with Namibia has been there, and they have been sent home early in the rounds of the group stages. Now, what do you think about the game that happened about South Africa and Namibia?
I would say first, Namibia South Africa beat Namibia 4-0. So I see that chances of qualifying, let's say just Namibia are out. Namibia are out because conceding 4 goals against South Africa, that means you are done. Because when you meet in the next round, if they would have qualified, then they meet the likes of Morocco, the likes of Senegal, they will be beaten obviously. So let's say Namibia has not reached somewhere like competing with South Africa and these other teams with a lot of experienced players and a lot of technique. So let's give Namibia other let's say at least 5 years so that they can improve, and when they come to the next competition, they at least try to perform and do everything that will help the team. But for now, let's say South Africa are a better team. South Africa are an enormous team. They will just beat Namibia like they want. I think Namibia tried to defend a lot rather than striking. That's why they didn't get even a goal. But South Africa is a good team.
Honestly, I've seen and we recognize Namibia. They really tried. They didn't actually try to score, but they really had a really good cooperation. The number 11, they really tried to play the game, and I was really motivated, and we really congratulate Africa for that.